Hello, this is Molly Reamer with Bridget's Grove in 30 Days of Goddess, and welcome to our February practice. Before we get going, I want to acknowledge that I am still traveling at the time of this recording, and I have very limited upload capacity, so I'm going to keep this as brief as possible. And yet, even so, despite brevity, I still invite you to take a nice deep breath and really settle into where you are right now, letting yourself feel at home in your body, letting yourself extend your awareness into what surrounds you in this time, in this place, calling your attention inward, calling your attention back home, and noticing what you sense where you are right now, how you feel, what's around you, what the air is like, what is happening in the north, the south, the east, and the west. What do you hear? What do you smell? What do your eyes gaze upon? Really inviting yourself to be present with this moment, with where you are, with your life as it is right now. No need to change or control anything. No need to force anything to be different, but settling into this time and this space and this body right now. And I'd like to go ahead and read the poem to you from the front of our February prayer book. We have the February prayer book is available in the Etsy shop or via download to the Goddess Magic patrons at patreon.com/goddessmagic. The anytime use free practice prayer book is available via 30daysofgoddess.com or in our new classroom for this year. So you can access those files. They're free and open to anybody who wants the basic practice book. But anyway, the February book is available. I also do have a new cover for the pocket size prayer book for February. I don't actually have a print copy of the new cover in my hands at this moment, but it's on its way to me and will be available soon. It's already on Amazon. But we have the pocket size prayer book and then the larger prayer books as well. We do have a cut your own card set available for February as well. That's available in digital or as a printed out cut your own deck accessible to you. So anyway, now back to the poem. I'd like to read this poem to you as you're still settling in. I sort of abruptly shifted tone from let's connect to let's get down to business, and that's because I'm feeling this time constraint. At the same time, I'm allowing myself to really kind of breathe into that and accept that part of the theme. And one of the things I'd like to talk about in this video is about stripping things back and returning to the simple things and the essentials of practice, but the essentials of life too, not just in our daily practices, but how we are living. So here's the poem. A ritual of returning. Step into the whirling world, soften your gaze and relax your shoulders. Look for a bird, listen for inspiration, or watch what is dancing with the wind. Feel the breath of the sacred fill you. Let the tight thoughts you have been carrying unknot and drift away. Lay a gentle hand against your heart and feel it beat. Lift your arms to the wide sky and swoop them down and around yourself, feeling an energy of renewal seeping into your skin. Close your eyes. And for a moment, allow yourself to pause in a cocoon of presence. Invite yourself into this living world that spins and sings. Inhabit this miracle of now. Okay, so the theme I would like to invite you into this month is open. So thinking about open doorways, open hands, open hearts, open minds, What are you opening to? What are you stepping into? What are you open to discovering? What doorways are opening before you? What windows are opening before you? What possibilities are open before you? What dreams are open? So open is the theme, with the companion being the questions that I raised during our last live circle. We do have a live circle in the middle, the second Friday of each month at 7 p.m. Central Time, simple and sacred. And so that is a recurrent live circle on Zoom that is open to anyone on the 30 Days of Goddess mailing list, accessible via 30daysofgoddess.com. And one of the questions that I asked during January's circle is, what would happen if you lived your own magic? Like, how does it feel to you to inhabit your own magic, to step into your own magic, to live your own magic? I really think that this is my own question of the year. That's something that I talk about in my Living the Questions class, which is also accessible and has free registration this month. I'll link to that class below. But in that class, I asked you to consider a question of the year, not just a word of the year, but what is your question of the year? And I think for me is, what would happen if I lived my own magic? And perhaps I have multiple affirmations of the year, but I dedicate myself to the practice of center, and then also I live my own magic. So along with this open theme, with this question of opening, with this invitation to consider open doorways and open possibilities, I'd love to invite you to continue walking with that question of, what would happen if I lived my own magic? Like, what if I live my own magic right now? What would it look like to live my magic, to claim my magic, to step into my magic, to inhabit my magic? With the companion affirmation of, I live my own magic. I live my own magic. So instead of a question, a statement, a declaration, a claiming of intent. So the other thing that I wanted to briefly talk about is that we traveled to the beach in January. I'm still here at the time of this recording, perhaps not when you actually watch it. You might hear some waves in the background or some other background noise. But something that I always experience with this month at the beach that we do in the winter is the sensation that I'm stripping things back to my most essential self. I lay things down, I cast things aside, I let things go. And one of the things that really comes into clarity when we're here is, I only have with me what I'm using right now, what I need right now, what I'm living right now. And so I'm very pared away and stripped back to what feels like this most essential self. I only have the books that I'm currently reading. I only have the journal supplies that I'm currently using. I only have the stickers that I'm currently using. I only have the oracle decks that I'm currently working with. I only have the projects that I currently need. And so everything feels very defined and pared back and stripped away. So I thought, well, how can I expand that? And so that's what I'm inviting you to consider too, is like, what is revealed when you strip things back to your most essential self? And it's really transformative to only have what I'm actually using. And I also see how much more, I still have things with me that I'm not using, that I don't need. I still have books that I'm not reading. I still have decks that I'm not using. So what happens when you strip things back to your most essential self? The other question is, what doorway of possibility do you sense? What's opening up before you? What's coming forward in your life? What doorway of possibility do you sense? And so those are the questions that I wanted to invite you to consider: the question of opening, the question of inhabiting your own magic. I've actually ended up asking a lot of questions in 8 minutes, and I was hoping to keep this to 7. So I'm going to go ahead and let that be my cue to go ahead and wrap things up for right now. I know this was brief, but I hope it involved some juicy questions for you to consider as we step into a new month of practice together. Always reminding you that your practice is one that supports, nourishes, encourages you, and that fits into your life. 30 Days of Goddess is about making a space for the sacred and for yourself in your very own life. And so what that looks like is unique to you. It feeds you, it fuels you, it boosts you, it helps you live your magic and step into your magic. And so that might look like drawing the prompt word and considering it for the day. That might look like choosing a word from the word deck and reading it aloud and letting it soak into you. It might look like lighting a candle and sitting with your hand on your heart and offering a prayer. It might look like art journaling. It might look like working on your prayer book page. It might look like keeping your eyes open for a moment of magic and taking a picture of it as it relates to the word of the day or just to your own path. So there's all kinds of possibilities. The door is open. And that's one of the things I've been reminding myself. The door is not locked. The door is open. The door is open. And we are invited to step through to claiming our own magic and living our own magic. So here is a poem to close with. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking part. And may this practice nourish, support, encourage, and inspire you. Today, let yourself consider the full range of possibilities, the dreams so big you've shut the door, the longings that catch in your throat and make your breath come fast and your heart beat wildly, the seed dreams and heart whispers you've shut away or try not to hear. There is something here, something that lingers in the dream time, that echoes in the bones, that sings in the blood. The very real possibility that you do know what you need and you can trust yourself, and that your life in full is open to you. A life of magic and of wonder, a life of joy and discovery is right here, waiting for you to listen, to pay attention, to unfurl. You have a secret prayer. You have a deep knowing. You hold a sacred truth. Speak it now. Let yourself hear your own desire, given free voice at last. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome to February. Bye-bye.